The year 2025 marks a period of significant recalibration for US travel policies, characterized by heightened security measures, expanded vetting procedures, and the looming possibility of broad new travel restrictions. These changes, driven by a renewed focus on national security and immigration enforcement, are reshaping the landscape for international visitors, students, green card holders, and even US citizens traveling domestically. Understanding these evolving regulations is paramount for anyone planning to enter the United States, as the consequences of non-compliance or perceived discrepancies can range from frustrating delays to outright denial of entry. The elephant in the room, a potential expanded travel ban. Perhaps the most impactful and unsettling development for 2025 is the reported consideration of a new, expansive travel ban that could affect citizens from a significant number of countries, potentially up to 43 nations. While official government communications on the precise scope and implementation details remain pending, leaked draft lists and policy discussions indicate a tiered approach to these potential restrictions. The red zone, full visa suspension. This category, reportedly comprising around 10 countries, including Afghanistan, Bhutan, Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen, could face a complete cessation of US visa issuance for all purposes. This would effectively halt both immigrant and non-immigrant travel from these nations, impacting family reunification, tourism, and academic pursuits. The orange zone, partial visa suspension, heightened vetting. Countries such as Belarus, Eritrea, Haiti, Laos, Myanmar, Pakistan, Russia, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, and Turkmenistan are rumored to fall into this category. Travelers from these nations might face partial restrictions, with certain visa categories, e.g. tourist or student visas, potentially being suspended or subjected to even more rigorous scrutiny than the standard. The yellow zone, probationary period. Approximately 26 countries, including Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Chad, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Dominica, Equatorial Guinea, Gambia, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Vanuatu, and Zimbabwe may be placed on a probationary list. These nations would likely be given a 60-day window to address perceived deficiencies in their security and vetting protocols. Failure to adequately respond could result in their escalation to the orange or even red lists. The uncertainty surrounding the actual implementation date and specific details of this proposed ban creates significant anxiety for individuals from these countries and their families. Furthermore, concerns linger about the fate of existing visas for citizens from potentially banned nations. While some reports suggest a grandfathering of previously issued visas, there is no definitive guarantee, and travelers should be prepared for the possibility of their existing travel authorizations being revoked upon arrival or even before departure. The impact could also extend to dual citizens, with anecdotal evidence suggesting that individuals born in a potentially banned country, even if traveling on a passport from a non-banned nation, might face increased scrutiny or denial. Enhanced scrutiny and vetting across the board. Beyond the specter of a travel ban, 2025 ushers in a broader era of enhanced scrutiny for almost all categories of US visa applicants, green card holders, students, and exchange visitors. This shift emphasizes a deep dive into an applicant's background, with particular attention to digital footprints. Social media vetting takes center stage. Consular officers are now explicitly mandated to refer student and exchange visitor FM and J visa applicants to the Fraud Prevention Unit for a mandatory social media check if they meet specific criteria. This includes, but is not limited to, advocating for a designated foreign terrorist organization, displaying a hostile attitude toward US citizens or culture, or engaging in anti-Semitic activity on social media and the physical harassment of Jewish individuals. This expansion of social media screening, particularly for students, has already led to a pause in new student visa interviews at some US embassies and consulates, raising concerns among international education advocates about potential infringements on free speech and the impact on academic enrollment. The vague nature of what constitutes hostile attitude or anti-Semitic activity leaves ample room for interpretation and potential for subjective judgments. Comprehensive background checks. Expect more thorough background checks and detailed inquiries into past travel histories for all visa categories. The goal is to build a more complete picture of an applicant's intentions and associations. Focus on post-October 7th activity. Individuals who were physically present in the US between October 7, 2023 and August 31, 2024, or whose SEVIS, Student and Exchange Visitor Information System records, were terminated during that period, are likely to face particularly intense scrutiny. This highlights a retrospective analysis of activities during a period of heightened geopolitical tensions. The DS-160 form, a critical first step with new rules. The DS-160, the online non-immigrant visa application, has undergone crucial updates for 2025, transforming it from a mere formality into a critical gatekeeper for the visa application process. Pre-submission requirement. A fundamental change is the strict requirement that applicants must complete and submit their DS-160 form before they can schedule their visa interview. Previously, some applicants would book their interview slots and then complete the form, leading to logistical issues and mismatched information. This is no longer permitted. Barcode matching is mandatory. The barcode on the DS-160 confirmation page must exactly match the barcode used to schedule the visa interview appointment. If these numbers do not align, applicants will be turned away at the interview and required to reschedule, causing significant delays and frustration. Consular sections explicitly state they cannot modify or update DS-160 barcode numbers on behalf of applicants. Enhanced security questions. The DS-160 form itself now includes more detailed security questions, particularly concerning social media history, past travel records, and previous visa applications. This reinforces the government's emphasis on digital scrutiny. Stricter digital photo requirements. The digital photo submitted with the DS-160 must adhere to stricter specifications, including size, background, and facial expression. Applicants are advised to use the photo tool on the DS-160 website to ensure compliance. These changes aim to streamline the application process, enhance data accuracy for consular officers, and deter individuals from hoarding appointment slots without having completed the necessary paperwork. However, they also place a greater burden of responsibility on applicants to ensure meticulous accuracy from the outset. Navigating the port of entry, broad discretion, and digital searches. Even with a valid visa, entry into the US is never guaranteed. U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP officers at ports of entry wield immense discretion and operate under broad authority to determine admissibility. For 2025, travelers can anticipate increased electronic device searches. CBP officers continue to exercise their authority to inspect electronic devices, including phones, laptops, and tablets, without requiring a warrant or individualized suspicion. These border searches are permissible under US law and are increasingly used to detect digital contraband, terrorism-related content, and information relevant to visitor admissibility. Types of searches. Basic searches involve a manual review of device content, while advanced searches, requiring reasonable suspicion of a law violation or national security concern, may involve external tools to copy and analyze data. Data retention and sharing. If evidence of a law violation is found, relevant data can be retained for up to 15 years and shared with other law enforcement, intelligence agencies, and even foreign governments. Refusal to unlock. While US citizens cannot be denied entry solely for refusing to unlock a device, though their device may be detained, non-citizens may face seizure of their device, prolonged secondary inspection delays, and a significant impact on their admissibility. Travelers are generally advised to travel light with essential data only, back up sensitive information to the cloud, use strong passwords, and encrypt devices. More frequent secondary screenings. Many travelers, including those with valid visas and even green cards, report being pulled aside for extensive questioning during secondary screenings. This can involve in-depth inquiries about their purpose of travel, financial means, accommodations, and ties to their home country. Visa revocations at the border. There are ongoing reports of individuals with valid visas having them cancelled at the airport and being immediately sent back to their home countries. This underscores the CBP officer's final authority on admissibility. Who is most likely to be denied entry in 2025? Given these changes, several profiles of travelers are at higher risk of being denied entry into the United States in 2025, citizens of countries on the potential travel ban list. If the expanded travel ban is implemented, individuals from red and orange zone countries in particular will face significant hurdles or outright prohibitions. Individuals with adverse social media content. Any social media posts or online activity that suggests support for terrorist organizations, expresses hostility towards the US or its allies, or demonstrates anti-Semitic views will be a major red flag, especially for student and exchange visa applicants. Those with inconsistent or contradictory information, discrepancies between what an applicant states on their visa application, during their interview, and upon arrival at the port of entry can lead to denial. This includes inconsistencies in travel purpose, duration of stay, or financial support. Travelers lacking strong ties to their home country. Non-immigrant visa applicants must demonstrate a clear intent to return to their home country after their visit. Lack of demonstrable ties, such as stable employment, property ownership, family responsibilities, or academic enrollment, can lead to suspicions of immigration intent and denial. Individuals with a history of immigration violations, previous overstays on a visa, unauthorized work in the US, or prior denials of entry or visa applications will significantly jeopardize future attempts to enter. Those who refuse electronic device searches for non-citizens. While travelers have privacy concerns, refusing to unlock a device for CBP inspection can be a significant factor in denial of entry for non-US citizens. Green card holders with prolonged absences or criminal records. Lawful permanent residents, LPRs, are not immune to scrutiny. Spending more than 6 months outside the US can raise questions about their intent to maintain US residency and could lead to questions about abandonment of status. LPRs with any criminal history, regardless of severity, should be prepared for extensive questioning and potential issues upon re-entry. Travelers with prohibited items. Attempting to bring prohibited agricultural products, controlled substances, even if legal in the traveler's home country such as cannabis, or medications without proper documentation will result in immediate issues. Anyone appearing evasive or unprepared, CBP officers look for clear, confident answers. Evasive behavior, inability to articulate travel plans, or a lack of necessary documentation can all raise suspicions. Preparing for travel to the US in 2025, key takeaways. The evolving US travel rules for 2025 demand proactive preparation and a high degree of awareness from all international travelers. Stay informed, continuously monitor official US government websites, Department of State, CBP, USCIS, for the latest updates on visa policies and travel restrictions. Accuracy is paramount. Ensure all information provided on the DS-160 during visa interviews and to CBP officers is entirely accurate and consistent. Even minor discrepancies can cause significant problems. Clean digital footprint. Be mindful of your social media presence and online activity. Assume that all publicly available information may be reviewed. Be prepared for scrutiny. Anticipate detailed questioning at the port of entry. Have all supporting documents readily accessible and be able to articulate your purpose of travel clearly and confidently. Understand electronic device policies. Travel with minimal sensitive data on electronic devices. Be aware of the possibility of device searches and the implications of refusing access for non-citizens. For green card holders, if planning extended absences, apply for a re-entry permit. Consult an immigration attorney if you have any criminal history or concerns about maintaining your LPR status. In conclusion, 2025 presents a more complex and potentially more challenging environment for those seeking to enter the United States. The emphasis on national security, combined with advanced vetting technologies and a possible expanded travel ban, means that travelers must be more diligent than ever in understanding and adhering to US regulations to ensure a smooth and successful journey.